I say, yeah. I say, yeah. Undercovers on the strip. I say, yeah. I say, yeah. I say, yeah. Oh, you won't know we got the product, yes sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pop's Table. I have with me today none other than the returning guest that we promised you we would have returned, the great Henson Rosemond. How are you?
My pleasure meeting you.
Outstanding, outstanding. You know, I saw your young man out there earlier on the board, on the panel, and it's a reflection. Everything, right, reflects from a seed. So you planted that seed, but it shows me you didn't only physically plant the seed, but you've been also mentally communicating with him. To cultivate it, which is one of our key words last week.
So when it become a tree, it can give me shade whatever direction I want it.
And see, that's important. Key, shade in my aging years, right? I just had to look over at him at that point there, him and Josie over there communicating. I want to also welcome Danny. He's here, JDX. In the house, always making things happen, always doing his thing to make sure that the panel is full of people that has proper perspectives. And that's one of the key words that I gathered from you, Josie, and your son Mackenzie's conversation, was perspective when we talked about content and context. Right? Because as you said, content is the almost tangible or essence of what we're dealing with. That's right. Right? But the context is how you perceive it.
How you perceive
right?
it, yeah.
And how we perceive a thing.
Whether you see it in red or you see it in blue.
Yes. Yeah. As we perceive a thing is key, right, to how and what position we are in to reflect it. Because knowing is not enough. We must apply. You know what I'm saying? When the scripture tells you that faith without works is naught. That's right. Vision, right, without execution is simply hallucination. So we have to take all the content and all the context that we acquire on a daily basis, and we have to put it into its perspective, activate it, and utilize it. And as you were saying, and I'm going to give the floor to you in a second, one of the key things was even those folks that are out there selling drugs, that even there you have to have some form of counsel. The scripture, the words on all levels tell us where there is no counsel, the people perish.
That's correct.
So if they execute, if they execute in accordance to the way you were speaking and saying, if we sit down and create a council, instead of just, okay, you made me hot, you made me upset, boom, 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 right? Then they would have to think first and hear others' perspectives of how they should selectively handle that situation.
Yeah. They have an example of one of the things they have. They have a group of people who are responsible for assassinating people.
There you go, there you go.
Right.
There you go.
So do the same thing for counsel.
Indeed.
You know, if we got a problem in the street corner, Jack, who's Latino, and Joe, who's black.
Indeed.
Listen, let's take it up to the next level.
Indeed.
And then let's resolve the problem.
Indeed.
We prevent that domino effect. There's a domino effect. When you start shooting people, the police get involved, the politicians get involved, the very same people who elect the politicians, they say, listen, we need security. And then, what happened to your business? You're running a business. This sort of thing has been on for hundreds of years. Indeed. From Rome until today.
You know, if they actually created that council, if someone did have to be assassinated or terminated, right? And they had a selective group that was done, like back in the day with Lepke and Murder Inc., right? That's what caused the La Casa Nuestra and others to formulate in a different manner and become more civilized in a civilized society, right? And everybody was still able to eat, to make money. Yeah. But you have children out here now that are not able to feed their families and to wear the best and be the best, right? So therefore, they're stealing now catalyst converters and so forth because they can't make money because they made their corner hot.
Yeah. If you shut down one area, you shut down the drug trade, you have to open other avenues. It's an economic thing. You got to open other avenues.
Economy-driven society.
Yeah. A lot of people don't see it that way because they're not well educated as to the problem.
Indeed.
But if you pay attention, you interview some of these guys, you talk to them one-on-one, you find out most of them don't even have a high school diploma. Indeed. Like I said earlier on, at 10 o'clock in the morning, you have a 14-year-old who who is a man, and he doesn't even know what he's going to have for breakfast. He goes to the store and buy a bottle of soda. That's his breakfast. So, and he's in the street corner hustling.
Yeah.
Tomorrow he finds himself having the best cars, no matter what,
Indeed.
and he can't keep it because he does not have a financial advisor to advise him all the money. The same thing happened to all these Mexican drug lords, Colombian drug lords. Where are they today? Because they figured, I got money, I got a warehouse full of US dollars, and I don't know what to do with it.
Indeed.
Yeah.
As McKinsey said earlier, that it all comes about training and mentorship.
Yes.
That the problem is with them is that it's not that they don't have a mentor. They have a mentor, but their mentor hasn't had the proper mentorship.
That's right. The mentor is just a guy that says, listen, this is what you do, you're a part of the gang, and this is what you do. Ba, 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 ba.
Indeed.
But you need more than that.
Indeed. You need proper guidance. Without proper instruction, you're heading for self-destruction. You know, but one of the key things is when you gather the concept of perspective, right, and you mix it with content and context, then you get something greater. The scripture said, those who have eyes, let them see, right, and perceive. Let those who have ears, let them hear and understand. But the thing is, with all context and content, you have to be sincere in what you're doing as a righteous human being.
Very true.
Because it's not so much in society that what you do that makes you righteous or unrighteous,
That's
but
true.
it's how you do it.
Yeah.
Whatever that hand set out to do it with all thy might. It doesn't make a difference what it is.
On a metaphysical term, there's no right or wrong.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
One of you said it earlier on the panel.
What you sow, what you reap.
Indeed.
Simple
indeed.
as that.
That's the bottom line. You know, we're going to be closing out here in a minute, but I want to make sure I definitely thank everyone, you know, as Joe thanked the whole house today, more so. We want you, the listener, to continue to tune in, right? We want to make sure that Danny continues to gather in all of these great guests. He's the casting director here, right? And we want to make sure that we continue to read up on everything that we need to read up on.
Very
and to train our minds in the proper development of how to manifest any reality you want. You young men out there and ladies out there that have been into that trade on the streets as far as selling drugs and so forth, if you want to change your direction, you can. Find any Department of Labor here on the American shores. Go there and tell them that you want to change your profession, but you want to use transferable skills in order to achieve your job, because you deserve to be managers,
Very true.
distributor, geniuses, and so forth, because you have that ability. Just switch over your knowledge. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, as in always, it's a pleasure to have Mr. Henson Rosemond here.
It's my
I want to
pleasure.
thank all of our guests today, and we want to welcome all of you to come back and return. As we in part and always, we say success awaits us. Keep it coming.
Yeah!